Have a 6 different drummers or 10 different drummers behind the same set of drums, but the way that you touch the instrument and just what you feel, that's what makes a big difference. I wish he was here to know that.
I truly wish he was here with y'all right now so he could be standing here and I could be sitting there, because I would love, because like I said, you would just see the energy. If he were here talking to y'all now, you could just see the energy that would be coming from him. Like he talking about being the scientist of the music, about drums, he'd be the one to talk to, because he'd go into detail with you and y'all could be talking about it for hours. And that's how he was. Like I said, with them, when I used to watch them play together, you could always see that cohesiveness between the three of them. As a matter of fact, whenever they played together, it was a difference. I used to always tell them sometimes, say, y'all need to just keep playing together, okay? But everybody would play a while and then they'd go play with other people and all that. But to me, him, Mo Davis, and my brother, they three of the better musicians around Atlanta. A lot of guys are still here now that he helped bring around that are still playing. But these three, like I said, I wish you would have had a chance to see them. They would play everything from the, traditional jazz to the funk to everything else. They just play it all. They play it all. Yeah, they do a little bit of everything. They did everything.
Wrapped around my finger with one thing.
But they played, and it was just musicians, and that's how it was.
Anybody else got anything else to say? Yeah, you might not have said this, but did he keep the same kit most of his life? Or?
As far as I know, he had 2 sets. The one that's on the picture, that was his most recent one, I think. But I want to say he had at least 2 sets. He always, he may have had that one from the Amen brick. I don't think he still had that one. But then again, that's yet to be seen. But I know he always had at least 2 sets of drums. He always had at least 2 sets.
And he always got the same sound out of it.
Yeah.
I believe, literally, he was there 2 sets. But he sound the same on his set because that moment that we were talking about.
So you're not exactly sure if one of his sets was really old from the 60s or not?
For sure.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, I'm believing. Yeah,
I don't know.
I remember he had these big. That's when the bass drums were like real big, and he kept all his stuff.
Yeah.
Like me, I sold a lot of stuff. But he had that. But then he had a little small.
Yeah, the smaller one. Yeah.
In fact, he had that Buffalo Soul picture on it,
right,
painted on the front. He had a friend that was an artist, and he had murals in his apartment and house where the guy would come over and paint what he wanted, rather than just plain walls.
Yeah.
He painted like murals.
Yeah.
I know he had more than one.
But once you see the CD, the DVD of him playing, you can probably make your own conclusions. He's only playing blues now. It's not this funk, but it's some funky blues. It's a little slow. They got 5 pieces. They got him, a singer playing the piano, guitar player, one of his other good friends named Harold Bean. Harold Bean, I believe, played with, who did Harold play with?
Funkadelic.
Yeah, Harold Bean played with Funkadelic, guitar player out of Memphis. He knows a lot about my brother. Okay, they go way back, like to the late '60s, because I think Harold used to come through Richmond and play in Richmond, and that's how he met my brother. Funkadelic, Parliament used to come through town a lot. So, but Harold Bean is another guy that knows him quite well. Probably somebody else told me another guy that probably would know him even more is a producer, or I think he was a producer or something at Motown, named Alan Leeds. I don't know if you heard the name or not, but Alan Leeds is one of his best friends also. He lives in Minnesota, I think, now. But he was a guy that knew him quite well as well. So, but again, like I said, it's another whole group of people in Virginia that can give you even more information.
You said there's definitely recordings that exist of you guys playing together?
Yeah. You can get in touch with Jim Ball.
I can check with Jim on it. Yeah.
We talk all the time. So.
He talks so highly of you. I just want to hear you play.
Yeah.
It's just a good time. It's a good time back in ONG City.
Yeah. But yeah, but this beat, this break, it had him inspired. He still hadn't played, but he was a little more upbeat as far as, you know, living and everything, but he just hadn't taken care of himself. That's the whole bad thing about it.
I think he might have actually started to play again once he taught this, huh?
Oh, he probably would have been wanting to play the drums right here, right now. But I'm almost sure if we would have been able to do this time last year, yeah, he would have been able to play, because I could never get him to play his drums. I couldn't. I tried to get him. I said, look, we can take him 7 downtown on Peachtree Street and just play on the corner right now. You just need to play. But when he stopped playing, that's you know, it's because we used to play sport. He had a basketball court in his backyard. We used to get out there and play a lot when I first came here, you know. But like I said, after a while, he just stopped taking care of himself. That's all it came down to.
So what's some more of his phrases and terms and words? You got sucker and cold. Man, that's cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Shucks. It's a few of them.
I probably couldn't.
You can see him. When I give you the other DVD, you'll see everything. Everything is on there. Like I said, this guy Barry is. He did an excellent job. Once y'all sit down and see that, you can see more about his life and everything here in Atlanta. It basically, because he's even got the Amen break on it, a little part on there where Barry's got that on the DVD as well. He incorporated all of that in there. He incorporated all these pictures from New Orleans that he had over the years. Because when they first started going to New Orleans, it was like 76, 77, and it was a group of about 8 to 10 people that would leave Atlanta, go to New Orleans, and spend those 2 weekends. They would be there for the whole time, and that, like I said, that was where he got hooked on the New Orleans type stuff. But Barry's got all these pictures. It's probably about 45 minutes to an hour. And I can get a copy. I got a copy at a buddy's house. You know, as a matter of fact, I may just probably give it to you to let y'all have it for yourself. And once you see it, you know, you'll understand more about his Atlanta feelings and the way people felt for him here in Atlanta. Yeah.
Now,
it's got older pictures and everything on it.
I just forgot what you said.
Okay.
Is there anything that sticks out in your mind you remember about DC just as a kid, just as a young kid?
Oh, I'm not gonna remember that. I was only, like I said, 8. I'm definitely not gonna remember that as a young kid, other than the drums and the music that he played with the band. Yeah.
I know what I was gonna ask you. All his house, money to go with money, car.
Yeah.
Cars, plural. Every bit of his success in life was based off of him being a musician.
Yeah.
So he made a living out of being a musician in Atlanta.
Yes.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Like I said, no matter what, if he couldn't play his drums, that was it. That was his job. He wasn't going nowhere else and do nothing else. He was a musician, and that was it. And like I said, with the studio that they had, that Jim Boland has, he worked in there sometimes with them and stuff like that. But he was a musician. Matter of fact, before he passed, he was at one time getting ready to try to put a studio in his own home, in his house, in his basement and stuff like that. That was his next biggest dream. He was working to do that, to have everything at home.
How old was he when he passed?
62.
62.
Yeah. 62.
Anybody?
I think
Got enough.
You guys
standing there for a second.
Yeah, you guys have anything you want to say?
I'm good. No, just like I said, I'm appreciating the interest and everything that all of you have shown in my brother. I don't know how much I can thank you right now, other than I'm glad it's going on. Anything I can do to help you get more information, I'm more than willing to do it. But this is, it's got me excited about life again, just knowing that this many people, and I know it's more than y'all, are interested in what he did. And this is something that he did all his life. Like I said, that particular break beat, I remember hearing that going to sleep at night when the band be upstairs and I'd be downstairs on the sofa bed. Okay? I remember hearing that forever, And that's just something that he always did. And for it to be something that he did all the time and just take off like this, that's just, wow.
It's funny you say you heard that beat all the time, because didn't Mac say on Somewhere Central that DC could probably play that beat in his sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him. That was
I saw him, this is something I remember about growing up. He used that beat, or some part of that beat, to the Lone Ranger. It was a Lone Ranger TV show used to come on, and what he did when Lone Ranger, I remember, this is one thing I remember about being little, and we were sitting there watching the Lone Ranger, somehow or another he turned the TV down, he was playing the snare drum with that beat to the Lone Ranger. It was kind of weird because he had it like it was matching the hooves and the horses and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty wild. I do remember that about growing up with him as far as something that he did with those drums. And that was one thing that I did recall. It was pretty wild. I didn't think that much of it until just now. But like I said, in Richmond, the questions that he has, there's another whole group of people that will be able to answer. Yeah, there's another whole group of people that can answer all that. Yeah. From, like I said, because it's like, with me, I got a group of friends that I grew up with, like elementary school, middle school, high school. He's got the same group of friends. We all had a group where we were stair steps like that. He's got another group of guys, like I said, Calvin Lyburn, Solomon Smith, Carlton Ayers, horn player, people like that. All these guys will be right in there. You know, you could have about 15, 20 people up here, and they can all tell you something about him that would be basically what you wanted to hear about it, as far as how he was coming up and things that he did. Like I said, mine is a little limited because I really didn't get to see him a lot until I started coming to Atlanta, which was in '75. Yeah.
So as far as he lived in Richmond and Atlanta, no,
I think he was in Florida for a little while because I remember he always loved St. Petersburg, Florida. Matter of fact, he liked St. Pete because it was always so laid back. So I want to say he might have been in St. Petersburg for a little while. Yeah. So. But basically Richmond, Atlanta, DC. DC.
That's where he came in with the Winston.
Yeah. And if he was in Detroit for a while with the Motown thing, I guess he was in Detroit then. So.
Wherever the music was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gentlemen, thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you. Thank all of y'all. Thank everybody.
have a chance to show with my friends.
Yeah. I was trying to get a few other people here, but they weren't able to make it, but that's okay. But, hey. But it was good.